What up, y'all? It's Kid BigBossFabo, FortWorthFabian. I'm back with a video for the channel, man. Actually doing an active self-protection reaction. I got Perp leads police on a dangerous shootout with the cousin in the car. Wow, that's a hell of a title right there, man. Let me know y'all thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, FortWorthFabian. I do have an active self-protection playlist, so be sure to check in, tap into all my reactions to active self-protection. Shout out to John Correa, man. Peace, love. Let's get into the reaction. Can only imagine what this one, what we got in store with this one.
Commenters have been asking for a badge cam where the cops do everything right. Here you go. Hi everyone, welcome to today's badge cam lesson here at Active Self-Protection. I'm your host, John Correa.
I'm your co-host, Mike Williver. This is the third take, because once again, I couldn't remember where it was from. Knoxville.
Today's video is sponsored by Backstreet Surveillance, Active Self-Protection's trusted source for home and business surveillance. They offer free expert system design and quotes using their Backstreet Surveillance system design tool to help you build the perfect system for your application. They also offer nationwide professional installation, remote smartphone monitoring, and their revolutionary 360 4K camera to help you keep track of and protect that which you love. Check them out at the link in the description and thank them for bringing
Backstreet, baby.
Driven old, it was the green, SUV here that looks like moving probable cause. In fact, it was. This guy has recently murdered someone in Florida.
Damn.
Driven all the way through Georgia, and then when he gets into Tennessee, there's been a
bro. He been on a
bolo
high-speed
for
chase
his
this
license
whole
plate number
time. He said he murdered somebody through Florida. He drove through Georgia. You telling me he's been on a high-speed chase this whole time, bro? Across states. So they got the state troopers on his ass.
And they read it on a license plate reader when he came into Tennessee. So then officers have made contact with him, and he is then going to take them on a 17-minute chase. That chase did not get to incredibly high speeds. I think if you go read the news story, it says it got up to about 80 miles an hour or so, all the way through kind of, into Knoxville. And so then what's going to end up happening here is they are going to start diverting traffic away from this guy and get him into a place that they can try to end it. Now he has, the perp here, again, just involved in a murder and had FaceTimed his girlfriend and told her that he's not going back to jail. I don't think officers knew that in that moment, but he had committed at that point that he is not going to prison. So once they get that pit maneuver in, then everything is going to break loose. Let's listen to, we have both
17-minute chase because Buddy don't want to go to prison.
dash cam and badge cams of what happens here.
Successful hit. Copy, successful hit.
Oh, damn. What, he get hit already? This a real shootout though. Ain't playing no games. He already got hit though.
What?
Gun.
Damn, man. Be sure to like the video, man. Comment, subscribe. Look like he definitely wasn't going out. Ain't going out like no hoe. He definitely ain't going back to prison. Gun! This is the real deal. No joke.
He just hit it. Right here in between. Right in before James Line.
10-4, just before James.
Damn, I think he got hit in the process though. They lit him up though. Damn. ARs, all types. He got hit, bro.
perp had actually crawled into the back seat of the vehicle at this point. He had fired a whole bunch of rounds at officers. They're then going to pull him out of there. The guy also had his cousin in the vehicle who didn't have any beef with the police, but our perp said, nope, if I go today, you are going with me. And so our officer now is going to go and run back to his car, get his med kit so that they can start doing trauma medical for this guy. He did make it. Let's listen in on how they talked to him during that time.
Stay awake.
How many gunshot wounds he
awake.
got though?
Deep breaths. Here, let's try to start him up. Good job, good job. You're doing good. You're gonna make it out of this. Okay, you're gonna make it out of this.
Hey friends, check it out. Fresh merch we got rid of. And you already see this big, long, drawn out chase. And when should police chase somebody versus when should they let him go and catch him another day? And I think there's a balancing act.
There is a balancing act, John. There's several prongs to this test. First of all, does the pursuit meet your agency's policy? Like I said before, policy is what? It is a warm blanket that we wrap ourselves in as law enforcement officers. If you stay within policy, you're going to be protected, generally speaking, from lawsuits, from criminal charges, whatever the case may be. Policy is there to protect you, so follow it. So if this is now deemed within...
I don't know if this is a situation where you let somebody go, because what was the theft originally, or like what was the crime he committed? Oh, he committed murder. This is definitely not a situation where you let somebody go, bro. They had just originally talked about situations where I guess if the assailant, if that perp is basically a danger to society, then you just you don't continue to pursue them. But this buddy just committed murder, bro. I don't know how you gonna let him go. How you gonna let him get away with that one?
In policy, which it would be the guy committed a murder, so I don't know many agencies that wouldn't, just based on the reason for the pursuit, that's a go almost every time. And
you see what I'm saying?
The important thing is, how dangerous is the pursuit? As pursuits go, I'm not a fan of pursuits if they're not 100% necessary. This pursuit, as pursuits go, is relatively mild. It's relatively tame.
It's pretty tame.
He's not running up the side of the road. He's not going the wrong way in the freeway. He's not shooting at anybody. He's not ramming other cars. Either traffic is light by itself, or they have, like as you said earlier, they've managed to clear some of these exits to prevent people from getting on the freeway. But this pursuit is a go every day of the week. Some of those other things aren't in place. If it's outside of policy, it's a not pursuit. If the guy is now threatening to kill other people through his actions, and you're making him continue those actions, continue to pursue him, well, then we have to reevaluate and reassess. And it can change during the course of a pursuit. It just depends, John.
Yep. And I think the pit maneuver here was fantastic. I think they did a great job on that one. One thing I would say when you're an officer, that officer who does the first, nudge in the pit, get out of the way, because there's likely to be gunfire coming inbound right now, and you do not want to be the backstop. And so that's why that officer continues to pull out and pull over. So we see all the gunfire show up here. Now, of course, the first one that we saw this is a sheriff's deputy, is my guess. It's a sheriff's office at the very least. And he gets out, and I actually love the fact that he gets back behind to the back of his vehicle. Because, again, this guy's shooting at you. You know you're going to have to return fire, but a little bit of cover goes a long way.
This is actually a really good position. I can't exactly tell where the suspect vehicle is, but it looks like it's that way.
Yep.
Does that help? It looks like he has the
No,
A pillar
help,
and
bro.
maybe the C pillar on the passenger side kind of in the way. So if you're using a car for cover, a driver's door without ballistic panels is almost useless against most guns. So consider the layers of protection you have. Engine block, good. Steel wheels, good.
That's a lot to think about,
A-pillar,
though.
B-pillar,
Damn.
good. If you're just, have a little bit of sheet metal between you, that's really just concealment and not so much cover.
And but it is interesting because we see that bad guys and good guys both, they won't shoot at what they can't see. Yeah. So even concealment is very effective at keeping guys from hitting you, because they're going to be aiming at the little bits that they can see. So I think it's great to get behind the cruiser, and then he stands tall and starts delivering. Now,
boy's letting them shots off.
To me, and I don't have any great answers for why he would be doing this, but he finished up this magazine, and our officer here goes, oh no, or our deputy, I'm out. And so he has to go back to the car to get a spare magazine. Now, I say all the time that in private citizen gunfights, we don't see reloads, because we don't. I just never see them in real life. But in cop gunfights, we see them. They're like peanut butter and jelly, man. They're everyday occurrences. And so as an officer, even if you're, just in mufti or whatever, you're working plain clothes, you gotta have at least one spare on your person.
Yeah, I agree. I always carried one spare on or off duty at least when I was suited up, 4 extra mags up between my vest and my belt. I could speculate, John. It looks like maybe this guy was on his way to work or on his way home and maybe wasn't completely geared up, which is fine. Having the extra mag doesn't hurt. You can get a
Bro, you're speculating. Well, I'm assuming, but that's the thing though. Shouldn't you already have the mentality that as a cop it can go down anytime, any place, anywhere? So you always need to be on point. I wouldn't care for, I just got off. I clocked out of my shift. No, bro, I'm still gonna be strapped up. Extra clips, extra mags.
Cheap little extra mag carrier, just a little dump pouch to keep your mag in. But here's what I would say about that. If you are in a place where you have a take-home vehicle and you're driving either to go to the store or whatever, you're going to work, coming home, and you decide to involve yourself in an incident that's going on duty, not saying that's what was happening here, but make sure you're ready to do whatever you need to do during that incident. So if you don't have your gear on, consider getting out, taking the 15 seconds it takes to get geared up, to throw on your vest, to throw on your belt or whatever. With that said, as you said earlier, John, I think you did a fantastic job here of getting in there, standing tall and delivering shots.
Yeah, and I'll say his reload, ended up
Shots
being
fired.
administrative. So next thing I want to see here, love the officer having the carbine ready, because again, if you know there's a gunfight coming, I want to have a long gun in the fight. I will say though, and I don't know what this officer's experience level is, you don't want the first time that you get out of a car with a rifle to be in a real world encounter. You definitely want to work on this in training, especially for law enforcement officers. But and I think this is probably outside of the private citizen purview because we don't do this kind of stuff. But for cops, if you've got a patrol carbine, getting in and out of it in training, getting in and out of the car, it takes a little bit of work to learn to do efficiently.
Absolutely. I think we're going to see here in a moment, he's not wearing a sling. We'll talk about that in a second. I had a guy in the podcast.
Basically said he did it all sloppy.
Jeff, who with it.
So you wasn't efficient at all, my boy.
Just getting out of your car administratively with the rifle is no big deal, but if there's shots being fired, you need to have practiced that skill enough so you can do it without having to think about it too much and get out and put effective fire on target, which, by the way, is exactly what this deputy did.
He absolutely did. I mean, he showed up and brought the hate. And listen, with a pistol, these kinds of shots are kind of spicy. With a rifle, these are layups, right? And so good, proper carbine training, you've got these kind of shots all day, and a 223 way more effective than a 9mm, going through cars and being effective on the other side. So good for him on that. Of course, yes, the rifle has a sling on it for a reason. Throw it over your neck so then that way it's not dangling all over and getting you into trouble. But also, I love the fact that he has a red dot here on his rifle. And the reason for that is that lets him keep both eyes open so that he can see where everyone else is, so that, again, if somebody pops out of behind a cruiser,
All I gotta say,
like that,
bro, made a bad
able
choice trying to have a shootout with the cops, man. We're gonna leave it at that, man. That's active self-protection, John Correa, man. I don't even know who his new co-host is, but hey, let me know your thoughts on this one in the comment section below, man. Never have a shootout with the cops like that. It's one thing going on a run, they chase you, bro. Just give it up. They ain't gonna try to have a shootout. I mean, I guess it's understandable because Buddy said he wasn't gonna go out like that. Like, it was either my way to highway type shit. He was saying basically that, he wasn't gonna go out like no hope. So he wasn't gonna go back to prison either. So if he's not gonna go back to prison, you can already assume that he's gonna have a shootout with the cops. So, hey man, like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell, check out the active self-protection playlist. We'll catch you guys in the next video, man. We out.